Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, the elders of Great Millstone, who very well, very beautifully. Double salutations unto the Akim I heard pushing his gospel in truth and in sincerity, to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord willing, fall upon your houses. This is the Brother Quanah Watts from the Arizona Great Millstone Camp. Come back at you, Lord will, with the edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord will. It is edifying, Lord will. It is straight to the point. And here we go, man. Here we go. Call Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, man. Hey, check this out. I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna play the video. But fair use. You know, Section 107 of the Copyright, Disclaimer Act, man. This is for educational purposes, not for monetary gain or anything like that. Fair use. Which I'll put the disclaimer, in the beginning, But I'm gonna. This is Prime Minister Starmer, if I'm not mistaken, Sir Keir Starmer. But it says this is on the BBC.com. It says new digital ID will be mandatory to work in the UK. And this right here is one step, literally one step right before the complete fulfillment of Revelations 13 verse 16 on down, right? It says a digital ID. The next step is making the actual RFID micro C-hip itself mandatory, man. Which, hey, this right here just proves we in these times, man. We are for sure in these times. So I'm gonna play this video and I'm gonna get a few scriptures, man, and we'll get out of here.
For too many years, it's been too easy for people to come here, slip into the shadow economy, and remain here illegally. Because, frankly, we've been squeamish about saying things that are clearly true. It's not just that it's not compassionate left-wing politics to rely on labour that exploits foreign workers and undercuts fair wages, but the simple fact that every nation needs to have control over its borders. We do need to know who is in our country. Our immigration system does need to be fair if we want to maintain that binding contract that our politics is built on. Otherwise, it undermines trust, undermines people's faith that we're on their side, and their belief that the state can and will work for them. And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
There you go, man. They're making a digital ID mandatory, meaning you have to have it, right, in order to be able to work, in order to be able to participate, right, in society within the UK, which this is not something that's just going to stop at the UK. See, America is already making, their different, their little experiments, right, with digital technology, right? Like I seen right here on the end time headlines, it says Arizona State football game will launch experiment of facial recognition system, right? Meaning they're going to scan your biometric data, right? Your eyes, right? Your face, So even this system that's being pushed in the UK, this is eventually going to happen all across the world, man. Right? We've already seen that, China, right, being the, the main, the main example, right, of a digital society and a really, controlled society, right? That's starting to, bleed out to all the rest of these nations. Now, UK, from what I know, is the first to make mandatory a digital ID, you know, which again is just one step closer, right, to the fulfillment of Revelations 13 and verse 16, where they're going to actually say, hey, you know what? It's not just the digital ID you need to take. It's the actual rice grain, right? It's the actual brain C-hip, right? Which we know is the RFID micro C-hip, which is the MO to the TB. We are in these times, man. Called Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. Let me get a few precepts, man. This is Isaiah 42:9. It said, behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. And see, our elder apostles, you know, down to the elder bishops, the elders, you know, Akim such as myself, right? We've been telling y'all for years, again, our elder apostles and our elder bishops for decades, right? Our elders for decades have been telling you that the MO to the TB is the RFID micro C-hip, man. You know, and see, now it's irrefutable. It's irrefutable. It don't matter what any of these false teachers by IUIC, ISUPK, you know, all these other groups that teach that it's, you know, anything other than the actual MOT, the RFID micro C-hip, right? It doesn't matter what they say now, man. Because again, the truth, as the scriptures say in 1 Esdras, the 4th chapter, right? Let's go ahead and grab that. This is 1 Esdras chapter 4, and I think it's verse 38, right? It says right here, it says, as for the truth, it endureth, and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore. So the truth is conquering, man. All these different fucking lies that these, these false prophets have been pushing out there, you know. And then Elder Apostle Tahar just did a video, which I was about 20 minutes in, you know, to the premiere that he did. I might have been like 30 minutes, I think, 30 minutes. Either way, he ultimately went into, you know, who he believed to be, you know, one of the leaders of IUIC, is basically, you know, pointing out that, you know, that they ultimately believe that the MOTB is the RFID micro C-hip, man. You know, he's going based off a comment that was ultimately put about, you know, Nate, you know, not having the oil, but he's going to get it back, and, you know, so on and so forth. So they know, right? They know the actual truth, man. You know, they know that the RFID micro C-hip, you know, is the MO to the TB, man. You know, so the truth is being brought out, man, and it has been brought out, and now it's being made evident. You know, let me jump to this real quick, man. This is Jeremiah chapter 28. And I'll start at verse 8, right? It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. And we've been speaking about these things for years, right? Again, our elder apostles, our elder bishops, and our elders for decades, you know, for decades, you know. And again, you know, brothers such as myself, for years we've been telling y'all, right, that these things are coming to pass, right? Jacob's trouble is right around the corner, right? The hour of temptation, you know, World War III, right? The RFID micro C-hip being made mandatory. Well, we've been telling you these things for years, and now see, we're at the time where all these different prophecies are coming to pass. You know, like as it says right here, verse 9, it says, the prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of that prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua had truly sent him. And see, again, we're not speaking of peace, right? We're speaking of, as it says right there, war, evil, pestilence, you know, and the kingdom being brought down, right? Which is this kingdom, which is Esau, Edom's kingdom, you know, a kingdom of wickedness, right? Been prophesying for years that this kingdom is going to be brought down, and through the Spirit, you know, we see it happening right now. Right, we've been telling you that these prophecies are going to come to pass, and through the Spirit, and guess what? It's happening right now. You know, so again, it's being made evident who truly Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua is dealing with, man, and that's the, you know, Great Millstone as a whole, right, and Great Millstone affiliates, those who truly believe in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, those who truly believe in this truth, this gospel, man. You know. And not these wayward ass doctrines, man. It's being made manifest, man. You know, we are in these times, man. Right? Let me grab this. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. And the point, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and is speaking, right, by way of different, laws and legislation and policies, right, that are put in place, right, as well as these different events that happen as well, man, but mainly, again, by those policies and bills and executive orders and legislation, right, that ultimately come about, so it's speaking loud and clear. It says, and not lie, right? It's not, it's the truth, man. We're in these times, right? It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And we're here, we're here. Again, call law Yahweh B'Shem El Shah, man. We are definitely here. It's just a matter of weeks, months, maybe 2026 could be the year, right? We hope and we pray, right? Really, we hope and we pray it happens before the end of the year, right? We hope that America makes the digital ID, mandatory by at least, the end of the year, right? So that way 2026, right? That the actual MOTB is made mandatory. But we really don't know, right? We understand Esau's moving extremely fast, because he knows that he has but a short time, right? You got, Benjamin, not a Jew, as the priest Azamowath, from Dallas, likes to call him, right? The leader or the president of the small hats over there, he went to address the UN Council, and all the delegates, damn near all the delegates walked out, man, because nobody really cares about these small hats, man, and what they got to say, man, which is why they got to move fast, But that's okay. Call law Yahweh B'Shem El Shah. It's all moving according to prophecy, man. Right? So we're in these times, man. Right? Just keep watching, keep praying. Again, keep praying, keep praying, keep praying. We're almost out of here, man. So with that, Lord wills, that fine, Lord will, straight to the point. I want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai B'Hashem, Rachak Wadash, that belongs to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, the elders of Great Millstone. Until next time, I see Shalom.